loving. Oh yo yo yo, yo yo. Baby, come let me give you good loving. I get the push for yeah, I get the money. I'm on get. Waiting on the hand, no be matter of for me, baby. I know you like good things. See my assurance cover you. I know you will get it back, oh. I know you will know the slack, oh. I know you will give me love, oh. I know you will give me chop, oh. I know you will, 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 yeah. Assurance cover you. My baby got the energy, oh for me like the January, till the tiny, oh for me till the tiny. My baby got the.
All right, welcome back to our kitchen. And today we're going to show you how to make soup joumou. So in this bowl here, we have our 3 potatoes, 3 carrots, 1 yam, and 2 plantains in cold water. So we have the 2 lemons in here cut up, and we're basically soaking it to clean. And this is our loze that's being cut up and washed. So we're cleaning that as well. We have our celery that's cut up. We used 1 stalk of celery. And then we have our watercress on top. We're gonna use 1 cabbage. And this is our squash. We need some salt. And this is what the lemons that we used to go in here. And then we have frozen squash as well that we're going to add to the fresh squash. So this is what you need so far, and I'm going to go ahead and write everything down in the description box. Just make sure you cut your ingredients, you know, however you want, but go ahead and cut them diagonally as far as for the plantains, or however you prefer actually. All right, stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and cut our cabbage up. Be careful with the knife. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut up the celery. And this is after watching the celery. You're going to go ahead and remove the bottom of the celery. Place your watercress in a bowl. Go ahead and add water to the bowl and wash your watercress. And you're going to go ahead and remove some of the pieces from the watercress. This is called, you're cleaning it basically. So we have our beef boiling. This has been boiling for a few hours now, and this is an optional process. That's if you, I don't know if you're a vegetarian or whatsoever, but this is optional. But if you would like to add meat to your soup joumou, you would go ahead and purchase the beef. We purchased our beef from Publix, and you would boil it for a few hours. So if you are adding beef to your soup, you would boil this for a few hours and season it. We used Epis to season it and boil it. So you let it boil for a few hours until it's thoroughly cooked. And it's on high right now, and we're just gonna let it cook for a few hours. All right, so after the meat is finished cooking, again, I said this is an optional choice depending on if you eat meat or not. You're going to go ahead and you're going to remove the meat from the pot and place it into a bowl. So right now, Rosie's just taking all of the meat and removing it to place in the bowl. All right, so now we're placing the celery as well as the watercress in the pot that was, in the pot that did have our meat. But if, like I said, if you don't eat meat, what you would do is just add water and season your water with salt. You would season it with some salt, and then you would place the vegetables in there. So now we're gonna go ahead and it's called tufe. So you're basically steaming your vegetables. All right, next you're going to go ahead and add your cabbage to the pot. Your cut up cabbage. Go ahead, Ma, you can say it. You add what? Talk.
Oh, all the vive. Look all this vive.
Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and add your plantains, your potatoes, your carrots, all the cut up vegetables. You're gonna add that to your large pot. And also, if I didn't mention this earlier, I probably didn't, but everything will also be in the description box. You need a large pot. You're gonna need a large pot for your soup because, of course, there's a lot of vegetables that you're adding, a lot of items, food items you're adding to your pot. The size of the pot also depends on how many people you plan to serve. So it depends if you're this large pot is gonna feed a few people in our family, so that's why we needed a large pot. But if you're cooking something small for yourself, then of course you would get something smaller than this. Okay, so and then we went ahead and placed the lid. Our lid doesn't have a it's not covered, so she goes ahead and adds a piece of what's that?
Maybe just make it.
I was just put it to, like, you know, cover it up so it can like properly steam. But you place the lid on top of the pot so everything can steam, and right now it's on high. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and cut up our squash. And she's basically removing the skin from the squash. And just be careful with the scissors as you're cutting. So remove all the back, all the skin.
Pumpkin. It's a problem.
Alright, so you're gonna go ahead and cut the squash in another half. And this is our second one that we're cutting. So now you're just going to cut it up. So basically we're removing the seeds. Removing the seeds from the pumpkin. This is after cutting it up. You're gonna go ahead and scoop it out. And she's scooping it out and placing it in a bowl. Okay, so after cutting it up, we place the squash in a bowl with some water to clean it off, and place it in another bowl. And she is going to add water to that bowl to go ahead and boil it. So now you're gonna go ahead and blend the squash that we boiled. You're blending.
Coffee.
Now the water that the squash was boiling in was added into the blender and being blended for a second time. And the frozen squash is now added to the regular one. All right, next you're gonna go ahead and add your meat to the pot, and like I said, this is the option. So next we've added our squash or pumpkin to the pot, a separate pot, and we've added our magi to the pot that's filled with the vegetables and the beef. And then we have our macaroni shells, our penne shells that are boiling. And we already added the pumpkin. I call it squash, but the pumpkin, the Caribbean pumpkin, to the mixture as well. So now we're just gonna let it boil for a little bit longer. And now it's like on a low level, so we're just gonna let it sit and boil some more. All right, and this completes our video for the soup joumou. I may have said squash a few times, but it's pumpkin, Haitian pumpkin. It's the same thing to me. But you know, Happy New Year and Happy Independence.
Oh, me king,